Welcome here live inside Platt Arena. I'm Logan Hunt, alongside me I have Caleb Overton, and we are getting ready for action here between the Huntington University Foresters and the St. Xavier Cougars. And Caleb, what can we expect tonight from these Foresters? New year.
Well, a lot of new faces is definitely going to be something we're going to be talking about tonight. We might expect some pregame jitters, maybe some early game jitters that it ends up working into, because we do have a lot of new places and no seniors, as we were talking about before the game started. So a young team, a lot of promise, but this is the first game of the season, so we're not quite sure what we're going to see out of them tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to be the first game of the season. Like I said, maybe some jitters, a very young team. We're going to see what these Foresters have been working on all summer. Who's going to step up and be the leaders for the Foresters? I know we have a few players in mind that could step up, maybe Wool or Heinen. But if you take a look at the new faces here for Huntington, you have Josh Rutland and Zach Rutland, the twins coming from Cecina High School out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Highly touted twins. Also, Kyle Hartman joins from Bishop Dwenger. He was late signing, but a very key element for Huntington. Also, Mason Coverstone, Austin Carazia, and Kurt Siegel all joining. And Carazia, a possible starter here for Huntington.
Yeah, absolutely. Very excited about him. One of the big weaknesses of this team going into is its lack of big players, but Carazia does provide that big presence down low. He can really post up, and that's what we're going to hope to see out of him tonight.
Definitely going to want a lot of posting up from the bigs. Aren't too many tall players here for Huntington. Carazia, Lockwood, Wool, that about extends at Platt, and we might see play more of the stretch four like we saw last year from them. We know the Foresters looking for a little bit more success. Last year they went 14-16, only 4 wins in conference, and now the Foresters really looking to start out strong like they did last year. Last year they came out and scored 113 points in their first game. Don't know if we're going to see that tonight against a very good St. Xavier squad.
Right. Usually Huntington starts off against weaker teams to kind of get their feet wet and get some momentum rolling. As you mentioned, not the case tonight, playing against a very solid team ranked in NAIA, and it's going to be a tough challenge for them out the gate tonight.
The Cougars come in 1-1 on the year. They're coming off a win off of Silver Lake, Wisconsin, where they won 85-63, and definitely they're looking to be big time, score a lot of points like we've seen out of them. They have a few key guys to watch out for. One of the guys is Stanley Moore, the senior 6'2 guard from Illinois. He's a guy to keep your eye on, very explosive, averaging over 18 points a game. Also, the biggest man out there is Larry Matuzis right there, the sophomore guard, averaging 24.5 points per game, 8 rebounds. In his last outing, he scored 31 points.
Yeah, and something also to look at is that field goal percentage. That's extremely high, and of course we're only 2 games into the season for this team, but still averaging very high numbers and also leading the team in rebounds at only 6'3".
Exactly. He's very scrappy guard. Reminds me a lot of Derek Heinen for Huntington, the do-it-all guy, bringing it up the court for him. And it's going to be interesting to see what St. Xavier does. We know that they like pushing the tempo a lot, and we're going to see how the Foresters can respond to that, especially with Zach Rutland running the show now for Huntington.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely going to be a wild card for this game. We don't know much about him. We haven't seen him play, obviously, under Huntington yet, but he really could use his speed and his excellent shooting to his advantage and really help out the Foresters today.
That's exactly what the Foresters are looking. We're going to take a quick break here from inside Platt Arena. We're going to be back with some starting lineups here between the Huntington University Foresters and the St. Xavier Cougars.
media is kind of this idea to bring broadcasting and film production together. Just doing media, but maybe not in the news field or in the radio field as broadcasting was.
With Fusion Media, you're not stuck in this cookie cutter route to become a news anchor or a radio DJ. There's so much more you can do with it.
Fusion Media is a way to take those everyday experiences and bring them to the students now, in the moment.
I would say there's so many opportunities for you guys to make an instant impact. We have HTV, we have live stream, we have Fuse FM. Like, we're ready for you right now.
It's so exciting as a freshman to be able to come in and right away be doing hands-on things like being a part of HTV and the radio station. And for a freshman coming in, that's so exciting to be able to do those things.
It's just really new. It's the newest idea that's been out. So no other school is going to offer a broadcast Fusion Media degree. The only one. So you can be on air, you can run a camera, you're kind of a one-man band sort of thing. You're really just given the chance to kind of run with ideas and to make stories and to create them interesting from the ground up. And that's a cool opportunity that you're not allowed to do anywhere else.
The Global Initiatives degree that we're offering is seeking to equip folks who are interested in applying a ministry education to cross-cultural work. So somebody who's looking to do holistic ministry, somebody who's looking to engage in the business for transformation or business as missions model would find some equipping through our Global Initiatives degree.
Our Global Youth Ministries degree is designed to prepare people for leadership in youth ministry, quite simply anywhere in the globe. It's for men and women who are already in youth ministry or for people who are simply preparing to lead youth ministry.
One of the things I like about the pastoral leadership track is that Luke and Karen, who worked on developing it, consulted with church leaders so that people preparing for ministry leadership in the church would have the skills and the knowledge that they need.
Some of what I'd want our program to be known for is being really clear-minded about linking our own program vision with the Lord's vision for His people and for the kingdom. What we want to do is be faithful to that which He's called us to. And some of that would be that we believe that the Church of Jesus Christ is going to be well served when it's populated and led by people who have stories of being reached by Christ and are now being well formed to follow Him no matter what the cost.
Welcome back here inside Platt Arena. I'm Logan Hunt, alongside me I'm joined by Caleb Overfelt. We're getting started here with the Huntington University Force taking on the St. Xavier Cougars. And we mentioned that we have some fresh new faces here at Huntington, and we'd like you guys to meet them.
Josh Rutland, freshman, Cecina High School.
Drew Benedict, junior, Columbia City High School.
Zach Rutland, freshman, Cecina High School.
Devin Murder, sophomore, Heritage Hills High School.
Kyle Hartman, freshman, Bishop Dwenger High School.
Mason Coverstone, freshman, Columbia City High School.
Austin Carazia, junior, Linton Stockton High School.
Daniel Wool, junior, Columbia City High School.
Trevor Lockwood, sophomore, McCutcheon High School.
Derek Heinen, junior, Columbia City.
Kyle Platt, sophomore, Huntington North High School.
Kurt Siegel, sophomore, International Academy of St. Petersburg.
As we take a look now at the starting five here for Huntington. You have the freshman Zach Run, like mentioned, taking over the point guard duty. Derek Heinen running the 2 guard. New number, same face. Kyle Platt starting at the 3. Daniel Wool and Arston Carazia rounding out the starting five for your Foresters. And Caleb, what do you expect out of it?
Obviously, Derek Heinen, it all begins and ends with him. He's the veteran alongside Daniel Wool, and he's really what makes the offense and the defense go. So if he's having a good night, things will tend to fall together for the rest of the Foresters. And then as far as newcomers go, we talked about Carazia and his importance in the post, so we'd like to see a good performance out of him tonight as well.
Like you mentioned, Heinen and Wool, big-time players for Foresters. Heinen averaged 17 points last year, Wool 15, and we are underway. Foresters winning the tip. You see Rutland with it to start. In it to Heinen. Heinen looking for a lane outside to Wool. Driving in, and a foul called already.
When you see a foul inside call, that really sets a precedent for how this rest of the game might go. And obviously they're going to be calling them pretty tight down low. So both teams need to make a mental note of that.
That foul was on Urachko. That's going to be his first. Rutland pick up his dribble, going down low to Wool. Wool with the move inside, 2 points.
Yeah, excellent work seeing Daniel Wool with good footwork there, getting inside of his man and getting the easy lay-in.
Stanley Moore bringing it up court for the Cougars. Getting it outside to Nago. And a foul called inside. This one going to be on Rutland.
Yeah, they had a switch, and Rutland was on somebody much taller than he was. I couldn't see who it was, but might have been a blessing in disguise because that was a bad mismatch down in the paint.
Well, we see Moore on Rutland, and Moore stands at 6'2". Rutland not very tall in his stature, staying at 5'9".
Yeah, might be a mismatch to keep track of tonight.
Big block there from Wool on Matuzis, and here comes Rutland trying to push the pace. Gets it to Platt. Platt picking up the dribble, getting it back out to Rutland. Man-to-man defense so far from both sides. Carazia coming out for the screen. Again, Rutland takes it out to Heinen. Heinen pop out to Wool. He'll take the 3. Let's count it.
The Cougars were really challenging the Foresters to shoot from deep there. They were really focusing their defense inside. Wool noticed that and took advantage of it with the tree.
Moore bringing it up, putting the move on Rutland, pulling up in the lane. No good. Platt with the board.
Nice job by Platt going up. We don't really see him as a rebounder last year, but we've noticed he has bulked up, so that might be a new role for him.
Wool with it up top. Has Tackett on him. Now Force is moving the ball well. Heinen with it. Dribbling inside. Trying to pull back. Loses the ball. Moore comes up with the steal. Sends it up. And the easy layup for Nago. And the first points on the board for St. Xavier.
We're seeing some intense defense from both teams. Already a turnover apiece for each of them, so that'll be definitely something we'll follow throughout the game.
Carazia with it out top. Tackett meeting him all the way out there. Here comes Heinen going baseline, going up, get it blocked, gonna get it back up for 2, and that will drop.
We talked before the game how important offensive rebounds are. Nice job with Heinen sticking with his shot to get that second chance opportunity.
Here's the matchup, Wool and Matuzis. Matuzis giving it up to Moore, trying to back in Rutland. Drawing the double team, Moore going up, and that's good.
Yeah, that mismatch is definitely worrisome, but Carazia did a nice job ready for the help defense, but it wasn't enough in that particular instance.
Down low, we see Wool trying to post up. And I take Urachko inside, no shot, foul on the ground. And another foul on Urachko, that's gonna be his second already early in this matchup.
Yeah, and he's already definitely checking out. And we're gonna have inside come for Tony Core, the senior, coming in.
It's gonna be Platt inbounding underneath his own basket, gonna find Wool. Fake handoff, Wool, pull back. And that's good for Daniel Wool.
Yeah, Wool's got the hot hand already. He didn't really have anything going with the drive, so he just pulled up and took it, and his shot's looking really good.
Moore trying to force it down low, able to get it there now. Matuzis for 3. That's not good. Ball hit out. Gonna be Forrester's ball. Nago getting his hand on it.
Well, Rutland, we already talked about his size disadvantage, but he went up for that rebound just as well as any of the Cougars did, and he was able to force them into an opportunity to turn the ball over.
Looked a lot like Nate Robinson with those hots.
Absolutely.
Heinen with it, Nago on him. Screen from Wool, Heinen driving in. Dish off to Carazia, going up, getting it blocked.
Nice job by the Cougars, really collapsing the lane on that drive by Heinen.
And a foul down low. Rutland getting called for the foul, so already Zach Rutland picking up his second foul early. And we're going to see Kyle Hartman, the freshman, coming in for Rutland. Rutland getting a standing ovation, playing some hard minutes already, showing he might be the point guard of the future.
Absolutely.
Now it's going to be Hartman's turn to run this offense. And here he is. Out on Moore. Moore coming in. Hartman getting his hand on it. Moore down. Out wide to Matuzis. Driving, losing the ball. Wool comes up with it.
During that whole session, it seemed like the Forsters were one step ahead. Nice job picking up picks and also really cutting off people as they drove.
Heinen for three. There it is again.
It's really nice that Heinen can move to the two-guard position. That's going to open him up to score and really unlock a lot of his potential there.
That's been a big question, was what Heinen would do off the ball, and I think he's answered.
Absolutely. I know the potential's there. I think we all knew it, so it's good to see that in action.
We've seen some great defense out of the Forsters as well. They've opened up a 12-4 lead here early in their first matchup. Moore going to take Hartman inside, pull up, and a foul.
And the officials definitely establishing that they're going to call fouls pretty easily down low. At least they're calling it on both sides, but the players need to be aware of that.
We see Heinen coaching up Hartman. Good veteran move there. That's going to send Stanley Moore, the senior, to the line. Only a 71% free throw shooter. See him hitting the first, though.
Forsters look really good on defense, as you mentioned. Seem to just do a good job reading what Xavier's doing right now and really picking up the picks and getting in front of them when they're trying to make their cuts. So I'd like to see more of that.
Moore second one going to rattle home. Lead to 6 for the Foresters early in this first half. Carazia with it. Core meeting him out top. Gonna get it to Heinen. See the screen coming. Heinen getting it back to Carazia. He'll pop out, take the three. Not gonna rattle home. Wool hitting it out. Platt comes up with the board and back out to Heinen.
Always scary when your big man shoots a three because nobody's down there to get the board, but nice job by Daniel Wool tipping that out and allowing the second chance opportunity.
Here comes Carazia inside. Nice move to get to.
Lots of aggression early on by Carazia. That's what you want to see out of your new big man.
What you like seeing from Carazia is there. He went straight into the body.
Absolutely.
Long three here for St. Xavier. Doesn't matter. Nigo coming back with the three.
Yeah, good answer after a long offensive possession by the Foresters. Nice job by the Cougars bouncing back.
Hartman picking up the screen from Wool. And off to Heinen. Foresters moving it around, trying to work it down to Wool, and that's going to be thrown out.
Little miscommunication there between Wool and Carazia. He thought Wool was going to cut down toward the basket, but Wool didn't, and that was an easy turnover for the Cougars.
So now we're going to take our first media timeout of the game. The Foresters on top of the Cougars, 14-9. We'll be right back with your Forester basketball action. Welcome back here inside Platt Arena. We see some substitutions now for the Foresters. Murder, Lockwood, and Benedict all in for Huntington. Hartman and Wool round out the 5 on the floor.
A nice job rotating, getting a lot of players involved early, keeping the starters fresh.
We see a foul going to be called on Benedict. Nego posting up down low. We've seen that a couple times now. St. Xavier really going to force the mismatch. Benedict and Rutland both didn't have too much size down there, and it seems like that's exactly what the Cougars are trying to force.
Yeah, never a situation you want to find yourself in when you're a short player.
Drive in, now Core with it, and now foul going to be called on Benedict, pushing him in the back, and that's 2 quick fouls on Benedict.
Yeah, it's rough. Again, he found himself in the paint, and maybe a little unnecessary, just panic mode there when you saw the bigger player going in. That's 2 quick ones from Benedict, as you said.
Already, though, just under 15 to play, forced with the 5 team fouls. We see Matuzas bringing in Wool with the rejection.
That's 2 blocks already we've seen from Wool, keeping up his high-energy play that he's known for.
Hartman going to Lockwood. Murder with it. Up to Benedict. Thought he might have pulled that one.
Force are struggling to get the ball inside right now.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Hartman driving and out. Foul going to be called on Stanley Moore.
Yeah, that was a good heads-up move by Hartman. A lot of the Cougar players were playing really tight defense, so try to run around them. You're either going to draw the foul or you're going to get around them. So I like that improvisation by Hartman.
Not only that, the shot clock going to reset now to 30. Hartman with it, driving in and getting it swatted away by Core. Right now a foul called. So that's going to send Hartman to the line to shoot 2.
That's some aggressive play from the freshman point guard, and really that's drawing him 2 fouls real quick. And you mentioned the foul situation. Huntington has committed 5, but the Cougars are right behind him with 4.
Yeah, like I said, the referee's coming out and really trying to take control of this first game. See Hartman's free throw bit off. First collegiate free throw.
Yeah, not altogether unexpected for there to be some nerves, but a lot of times when you get that first one out of your way, take a deep breath, sink the second.
Not there, but tipped out from Wool, and Benedict going to come up with it. Good play from Wool. Wool driving inside, losing the ball. Tackett coming up with it. Here comes Nego, looking to push. Moore out to Tackett, Wool right on him. Matuzas with it, murder on him. Back out to Moore, driving in. And we're going to see who the foul's on.
Yeah, both Wool and Lockwood.
It's going to be on Daniel Wool.
Yeah, and a little bit of indecision, miscommunication, if you will, on defense. Normally when you have somebody driving from that far out, one person needs to step in, plant their feet, and maybe get the charge, but both of them came in, kind of knocked each other off balance, and that was an easy call for the officials.
It's going to be Wool's first foul, the team's 6th. We see Carazia coming in now for Daniel Wool. Also Kehu going to come in for Tony Core and the Cougars. Still 14-9.
Man, we're not even 7 minutes into this game, and all the starters have gotten a break for Huntington, so that's good. They're trying to keep the rotations, keep the players fresh. I like that idea by Coach Platt.
Another free throw attempt. That one's going to be good for Moore. See some pressure in the backcourt from Moore on Hartman. Up top, Lockwood looking for the pass, finding Benedict. Benedict driving in, losing it. And roll off his thigh and out. And now I'll bring Zach Rutland and Derek Heinen back in for Hartman and Benedict.
Yeah, driving's never really been Benedict's strong suit. Obviously, he has no range when it comes to three-point shooting, but tried to get in there and got in a little over his head.
Now, something we've seen more already in this game than I saw a lot last season was some substitutions by Platt. Very deep team for the Foresters.
Yeah, they're definitely using all of that new talent and trying to see who might be the go-to players this year.
Big block from Lockwood coming from the backside. And here comes Rutland pushing the tempo. Nice move going out to Lockwood. Heinen for 3. Just off the mark. Tackett with the rebound.
Yeah, nice fast break. I like that idea. You don't see that a lot with young teams like this, but they're really pushing the tempo.
Matuzas with it. Looking for a pass. Goes to Kehu. Here's Moore with the ball, asking for the pick up top. Going down to Kehu. Good defense there from Carazia, but shot's going to fall.
Not much more you can do there if you're Carazia. He had his feet planted, arms up. He was a presence there, but just really nice shot, and the Cougars get an extra 2.
Murder up top to Heinen, a little head fake out to Murder. Murder pull up on the elbow. Just on the backside, not good. Moore with the board. And here come the Cougars running. Core going up for 2, and that's good.
Yeah, I, along with the entire Foresters bench, thought that we might have seen a walk there, but it wasn't called, and it looks like the Cougars have tied this up.
Like you mentioned, tied at 14 now. Nice job from the Cougars storming back. And the Foresters already dealing with a bit of foul trouble. How do you think the Foresters plan to deal with that?
Well, they're playing a really fast-paced game right now, but the way that the game's being called, I don't know if that works to their advantage, because we are getting a lot of lighter fouls being called. And again, they're being called on both teams, but you got to watch out and not make me play so aggressively on offense.
Definitely, we've seen that. You got to think the Cougars are going to still try to force it down low. It doesn't seem like they're a fantastic shooting team. They don't like settling for threes. We've seen the Foresters take quite a few outside jumpers already. A few haven't been falling that they were from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the Cougars are doing a really good job blocking out inside. They are almost daring the Foresters to shoot, and the Foresters have been taking to that dare, and it hasn't worked out really well for them so far.
Here comes Rutland picking up a screen from Lockwood. And like we mentioned, a foul being called. This foul going to be on Kyle Taggett, the 6'4 junior on the Cougars. We see Daniel Wool coming in for Trevor Lockwood. Lockwood getting a good ovation after his monstrous block down low a couple plays ago.
Yeah, Wool's signature energy's really been on both offense and defense, so I think he definitely needs to be back in right now.
Heinen with it, and I agree with you. We see Rutland taking the 3. That's good for Zach Rutland. First points on the board for the freshman in his college career.
That was set up by Heinen. Nice give and go there, and really allowed him a clear lane to shoot.
Matuzis, and now a foul going the other way. Nego getting called for trying to box out Rutland down low.
Yeah, Rutland being very capable, playing very scrappy down low, and doing a nice job of drawing the foul there. And both teams are one foul away from the bonus already.
11:42 remaining, 17-14. Foresters climbed out to an early lead. Cougars came back. Wool setting the screen for Heinen left side. Going back to Wool. Wool going to the elbow. He'll pull up. First miss of the night for Daniel Wool.
Yeah, I'd like to see Carazia try to box out, get inside for that rebound. He had the size advantage, but he didn't put himself in a position to pull it down.
Outside. Nego with it, Rutland on him, and a foul going to be on Carazia.
Yeah, it's tempting when somebody's about to go around you to stick your leg out and get him with your hips, but they're going to call you for that every time.
That's going to be the first foul on Carazia, but the 7th team foul, like you mentioned, Caleb, going to bring the Cougars into the 1-and-1.
Yeah, free throw shooting is definitely going to play a big part of this rest of this half, because as we mentioned already, both teams now, fouls are going to bring people to the line no matter what.
Nego hitting the first. Nego's also perfect on the year so far. Second one is good as well.
It doesn't look like the Foresters are going to substitute here. Kind of surprising given how they started out the game.
Rutland trying to get this offense set going. We're going to move on more inside. Look. And the floater not going to be there. Here comes Nego the other way. Back to Moore in the corner for 3. Rolls off the iron. No good. Wool with the board.
Smart defense by Heinen, not leaving his feet and really being a presence there to offset that shot.
Good defense there from Nego, wrapping around, poking that ball out, or Heinen would have had it easy too.
Yeah, again, fast-paced play on both teams now. We're seeing a lot of fast breaks, back and forth action set up by the good defense by both teams. But I'd like to see the Foresters slow down a little bit. They seemed a little jittery on offense.
And the slam from Daniel Wool.
Well, it doesn't get any easier than that. They just ran a scrimmage, really quick pick play, and he was wide open to get that dunk.
They'd gone outside on every inbound play, and like you mentioned, that's left Wool unattended. Moore up top, Tackett. Matuis has murder on him. Now Moore with it. Seems to be the go-to man for St. Xavier. Kehu down low with the turn not there. Carazia with the board.
Yeah, again, just really good stand-up defense by Carazia. I really like what I see out of him in the post right now.
And a moving screen going to be called on Rutland. That's his third foul.
Yeah, and you got to think that he's probably going to get taken out of the game here, and he will indeed.
That's huge with 10:07 remaining in the first half. Rutland picking up the third foul. We see Hartman come in for him. Also, Kyle Platt coming in for Devin Murder.
You have to wonder if fouls keep being called like this, the players need to change it up a little bit and be a little more careful. Otherwise, we're going to see some players eliminated by the end of this game.
Moore walking it up for the Cougars. Nigo looking backside, not there. Well defended by the Foresters. Here comes Moore driving in. Reverse layup and nice move there from Moore.
Yeah, really suspecting the block there and decides to hang on to it, just make a little double move, reverse, like you said, and get the easy bucket.
Heinen gonna hold it for a second, has Wool, needs to look down low. Hartman missing him, out to Heinen for three. That's no good. Wool slapping it out of bounds. Gonna be Cougar ball. I know there were a few times there, Caleb, we saw Wool wide open down low.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the movement away from the ball has been pretty good so far for the Foresters, but the guards haven't really recognized or seized those opportunities.
We see Kyle Huppy, the junior point guard, coming in now for Kyle Tackett for the Cougars. 19-18, Foresters on top. 9:30 remaining in the first half. Matuis with the ball, been held in check so far in this half. Nigo taking the long three again, not there. Carazia with the board, finds Hartman.
And the Foresters are going to push the pace, but they don't have anybody down there to work with.
Heinen now with it, driving in. Back out Carazia with the pump fake at the top of the key. 15 on the shot clock. Heinen with it, picking up a screen, driving in right side up for two. That's good.
Yeah, there was no help defense there on the Cougars, so once Heinen got around that pick, he had a free lane to the bucket.
We see Moore going down low, and then the foul on Carazia, a little ticky-tack foul, it seems like. That's going to be Carazia's second foul, and the team's ninth with 8:51 remaining.
Yeah, definitely not good. We've seen the Cougars slowly crawl their way back into this game, and part of it's been the free throws, and there's definitely more to come with 8:51 still left in the half.
I mentioned the Force now with too many big men. You have Wool, Lockwood, and Carazia doing the majority of the minutes. Might have to see Platt slide over eventually. Force might have to go small.
Yeah, that'll definitely be something to watch.
Kehu with the free throw attempt. Hasn't taken one in the year. Going to hit the first.
Again, the Foresters really kind of in a rut right now with their half-court offense. I'd like to see them set up a nice play here and preferably get the ball inside.
You would think it'd be a little easier with Hartman and Heinen both on the floor. By moving Heinen to that two spot, it's more like having 2 point guards on the floor. So
yeah,
you expect to see a little more.
Again, the opportunities have been there, but just, again, getting that court vision up, and it's hard, especially for Hartman. You know, his first game in college, he's still got to work on this new level that he's at now.
Platt with it, working it down to Heinen. Leaving it off for Lockwood. He'll get the easy lay in. Nice assist from Derek Heinen.
Yeah, a lot of respect defense there on Heinen. Once he got down, the entire D collapsed on him, and then he was able to find his open man for an easy bucket.
Something the Force might want to take note of with how they collapse, kick out for a three possibly in the future.
Absolutely. That's something that the Forcers do a lot on their offense, so it could work now.
Huppy for three. Air ball. And Wool coming up with the rebound.
Yeah, I think Platt got a piece of that one. Again, he seems a lot more comfortable playing a more hybrid position, playing more in the three.
Speaking of Platt, he has the ball now in the corner. Lockwood stuck with the ball, getting it down to Heinen, 10 on the shot clock. Heinen with the turn, out to Lockwood, take the jumper. Not quite going to roll in for the big fella. Huppy running back, and that's thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, lucky break for the Foresters. Nobody really noticed Huppy running down the court.
And that will bring us to our under 8 media timeout with the Foresters on top 23-20. And now would be a good time for us to highlight some of the changes going on in college basketball. We take a look at some of the rule changes, Caleb, for the 2015 season. We know the restricted area is going to be expanded from 3 feet to 4. That's going to be next season, though. It's starting in Division I this year, but then it'll move down to Division II, Division III in the coming years. Also, the Class B technical fouls, now 1 shot instead of 2. An example of that would be hanging on the rim or some sort of that. Something that's not altering the game necessarily.
Absolutely.
So I do like that rule change. They're also eliminating the 5-second closely guarded rule, which I believe is a very good idea as well because it was not enforced throughout any tournament.
Yeah, elimination might be a strong word, more like phased out. It just wasn't really relevant anymore.
Probably the biggest change is the shot clock reduced from 35 seconds to 30. And what do you think about that one, Caleb?
Well, that really changes the dynamic of the game. 5 seconds might not seem like a big deal, but in college basketball, and specifically NAIA with the 35-second shot clock, players could trial and error on offense a little bit and still set up a play. 5 seconds makes a big difference, and that's something that I think we're going to see really as the game stretches out with teams trying to stretch the clock out. It's just not going to work quite as well.
Also, with the delay of game warning, that can be a technical foul called against the Force. That's on the first warning. If they don't come out, then it could be a 1 technical foul shot, and also 3 timeouts only being carried over instead of the typical 4 timeouts for a half. So the speed of play definitely trying to increase for the collegiate basketball.
Yeah, and we just saw some stats on Derek Heinen, really one of the key players to the game, and he's off to a really good start, shooting 44% from the field.
We see Wool with it, spin move up and under, count it!
Yeah, Wool's fundamental footwork, I've noticed, is a lot better down in the post. He's not afraid to use those spin moves and try to get himself in a position to score, and I really like that with him.
Wool definitely looking a bit stronger from last year, not getting pushed off the block as much, and we've seen him really taking it into the chest of his defenders. And we see a turnover for the Cougars.
That's a couple miscues in a row that we've seen where the passes have soared with the person not really, the receiving person not really seeing the ball. So, again, a couple lucky breaks for the Foresters, and maybe they can continue to stretch out their lead.
Hartman bringing it up for Huntington, out to Lockwood. 2 bigs up top, looking for Wool down low. Platt gets it to him. Offense just flowing through him. He'll go up for 2, and that's good again.
And Wool's really feeling it right now. He's a very streaky player, a lot of energy, and right now he just knows what the bottom of the basket feels like.
We saw some of that firepower from him his freshman and sophomore year, and now really seeing it junior all starting to come out. Good switch there from Heinen and Wool.
Absolutely, and the team needs that from him now. It's not just an added bonus where he can come off the bench. He's got to be the guy for the Foresters, and I think he's doing a really good job tonight as he grabs another rebound.
A good defense from Huntington, and now down low, we're going to see a foul called. That's going to be on Nego.
And now doing a really good job using his speed to draw the fouls, getting people off guard and making them make a hasty decision. And now he's at the line, putting the Foresters in the bonus.
We see Nego going out with his second foul, tack it in for him. And you mentioned Hartman back at the line, shooting the 1-and-1. Missed his first 2. And now hitting that one.
One-on-ones are difficult because you don't have that guarantee of the second shot, so it puts a little bit more pressure on the first one, but it looks like his nerves calmed a little bit. He was able to knock that one in.
And the second one is in as well.
And the Foresters have now extended their lead out to 9, starting to pull away from this one.
Here comes Moore. Out to Matuis. Matuis going left side on Wool. And the foul going to be on Daniel Wool. And got his elbow out into him.
Yeah,
going to be his second foul, and now the team's 10th, so the double bonus for the Cougars.
As you mentioned earlier, and something that we're going to have to keep track of is the limited size presence right now for the Foresters, and these fouls are definitely not helping, so they might be forced to go a little bit deeper into their bench as the game goes on.
Matuis looking to get on the board as see his free throw rattling in. He's a 71% free throw shooter on the year. And now we see Murder coming in for Daniel Wool. And here's that smaller lineup that we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we're probably going to see the Foresters look to push the tempo a little bit as they did toward the mid stages of this half. Try to use that advantage.
Matuis able to hit the second one. So on the floor for the Foresters, it's Murder, Platt, Hartman, Heinen, and Lockwood. Now we see a little bit of a press coming for from the Cougars, just a little bit of pressure.
Interesting that we're seeing Platt take the ball down the court. You'd think they'd want to establish him inside as a forward right now.
And now a foul called again on the other end. This one's going to be on Moore reaching in on Platt. So Platt will go to the line, shooting the 1-and-1. That's Moore's second foul as well, so both teams struggling with some foul trouble.
Yeah, and the fouls are really spread out. We got a lot of players with 2 fouls right now, so in a way that's advantageous, but the sheer number of fouls on each team is really staggering at this point in the game.
We see a substitution now for the Cougars. Moore going to come out. The freshman Jacob Strong subbing in for him. Also, we're going to see Quinn Nego coming back in. He's going to come in for Matuis.
We see St. Xavier really matching the small lineup that we see out of the Foresters right now. They don't want to get run down, so they're going to put their smaller guys in as well.
Well, here's the question now. Is Platt hitting the front end of the 1-and-1? Who's going to score for the Cougars with Moore and Matuis on the bench? Those two are the only two averaging in double figures and scoring this season. The only other person that might be able to get in the hole is Nego.
Yeah, and we've seen Matuis really been shut down. He's only got a couple of free throws on the night, so the Foresters doing a good job taking away their key players.
Platt hitting both free throws, extending the lead back to 9. Here comes Tackett. Getting caught without a dribble. Finding Huppy. Up to Nego. Murder on him. Good defense there from Murder. Kehu taking the long 2. Rebound by Platt. He'll go to Hartman, and the Force looking to push.
Absolutely.
Murder taking it in strong inside. Not good. Lockwood can't quite get the tip. Here comes Nego the other way.
Forster's playing a really tight man-to-man defense right now.
Doing a good job guarding that three-point line. As now Tackett takes the long 3. Lockwood with the board.
And that board was made possible by a nice tip from Platt, doing a nice job, really aggressively going after the boards. I like that out of him.
That's something we've seen him improve on from last year as well. Heinen with it. Posting up Tackett. Looking for an up and under, not there. Lockwood up top, he'll take it. And that's good from Lockwood, the long 2.
Well, kind of an underwhelming offensive possession for the Force. There's not a lot of movement on any of the offensive players, but they get 2 points from the nice shot from Lockwood.
Well, if you see Lockwood has the green light from outside, I can see how that's going to factor in this season. Tackett with it, Heinen on him, going to Kehu. Posting up Lockwood, and the foul on Lockwood, and 1.
And just as the Forcers are really starting to lock down, a costly mistake there, allowing the and 1 opportunity.
We're going to see Wool come in for Platt.
Foul was called on Lockwood. I think maybe Coach might have thought it was on Platt. Took him out of the game.
Well, that's only going to be Lockwood's first foul.
Which, as a 6'7" forward, that is good news for the Foresters. He needs to definitely keep out of foul trouble.
Kehu is going to roll around and out. Board going to Wool. 4:30 to play. Foresters up by 9. And Murder with it on the wing. Going back up top to Heinen. Heinen picks up the dribble. 15 on the shot clock. And the foul going to be on Kyle Tackett, trying to keep Wool out of the post, but he'll be called for the foul, and that's going to be Tackett's second foul.
Yeah, and the trend of the fouls continues, and now the Foresters are just 1 away from the double bonus.
And we see Tony Cora, the 6'7" senior, coming in for Tackett. Wool will be at the line shooting the 1-and-1.
You see Platt come back in here. And again, I think that might have been a mistake, him coming out in the first place. I think Coach might have thought that he drew the foul on the and 1 earlier and took him out of the game because he thought he was in foul trouble. But now that that's not the case, it looks like he's going to come back in and hopefully continue his hot streak.
We see Wool doing a nice job hitting both free throws. He's having a heck of a first half.
The Foresters have extended the lead to 11 now.
Huppy with it. Hartman right in his face. Getting his hand on the ball. Coming up with the steal and the foul.
Yeah, you said it. He was really all over him, just playing some great clean defense. He saw an opportunity to tip the ball, and then he got tripped going after it. That's nice defense, and that's going to give him 2 shots.
Gotta love what we've seen out of the 2 freshmen, point guard Hartman and Rutland. We know Rutland with some foul trouble on the bench, but Hartman coming in complimenting very well.
Yeah, I think we expected a great game from Rutland, and I think he is having one, but really, Hartman's been a big surprise. I think his aggression, I really like seeing it, and I think that's what the Foresters need out of the point guard.
Also, we're going to see Huppy go to the bench. Mentuis back in. We see Hartman hitting the first free throw. Second one good as well.
Yeah, it seems like after he missed those first two, he's really settled into the game, and he's done a nice job hitting 4 free throws in a row now.
Matuis with murder all over him. Nigo, Heinen on him. It looks like Force is not giving an inch defensively. 10 on the shot clock. Core with it up top. Finding Strong, and it's stolen away by Platt. Platt going to Hartman. Hartman waiting for some reinforcements.
Forster's taking their time here.
See Hartman with it, taking it down low, fouled. Can't quite get it to drop. So Hartman again gonna live at the free throw line.
Yeah, he's just playing absolutely aggressively right now. He's like a guard version of Daniel Wool right now.
Playing with a lot of confidence in his first game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As it's settled in, again, the first 5 minutes, some of the freshmen seemed a little jittery, but not anymore. He's looking absolutely confident out there.
Hartman able to drill his first free throw. And that foul was on Kehu. His first, but the team's 10th, so both teams in the double bonus. So we see Huppy come back in for Strong.
And Forster's really capitalizing on these shots at the foul line that they've had. They've hit the last several and are really starting to extend their lead now.
All right, now St. Xavier in danger of getting run out of the gym. Hartman leaving that free throw well short.
Yeah, he's wiping his hands off on his shorts. I think that ball might have just slipped out of his hands as he shot.
Well, he was perfect after missing those first 2 free throws, but not anymore. He's going to laugh that one off.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you got to do, have a short memory and just get back on defense. He's really frustrating Huppy.
And denying the post very well as we see Matuis taking the 3. No good. Platt with the strong board. You got to find Hartman with 3 minutes to play in the first half.
Absolutely. And now the Foresters with a bit of a lead now are going to take their time a little bit on offense.
Heinen with it, trying to back down Nigo. Going up for 2. Foul going to be on the ground, but doesn't matter. Going to be 2 shots coming for Heinen.
The guards have done a nice job pushing to the basket, and the way this game's being called right now, you almost can't lose just pushing into it because really they've been able to either get on the other side of their man and get an easy lane to the bucket, or they've gotten the foul.
Well, that's big too because Nigo picks up his 3rd foul. We see Heinen splashing the first one. Now we'll see Kyle Tackett, the junior, back in for Nigo.
Yeah, depth really starting to be tested for both teams with all these fouls acquiring.
Forster's doing a good job so far from the free throw line as well.
Yeah, and Heinen's almost automatic from the line. His whole career here at Huntington, he's just done an excellent job.
Forster's 8 for 10 from the line so far in this half. And there goes Huppy getting it stripped away. Up for 2 and 1. Kehu.
Yeah, Lockwood's going to deny that, but I think we all saw it. He did get his hand up there. Nice job. You know, right, even when the Foresters seem to be coming up big, getting a little bit of a streak going, the Cougars won't quite go away. They're always going to respond with a big play like that.
Here comes Wool coming in for Lockwood.
Yeah, and he's had a pretty lengthy rest, so again, we look for a lot of explosion out of him in the last 2 minutes and 39 seconds of this half.
Kehu able to hit that free throw. The lead down to 13.
Again, St. Xavier just never quite going away, not allowing the Foresters to really blow this one open.
Heinen trying to drive, kick to Hartman, now to Murder. Good movement right now for the Foresters. Wool coming for the screen, 10 on the shot clock. Heinen out to Platt for 3, gets swatted by Core. 5 seconds, Wool with the pump fake. Forster's gonna have to shoot, 2. Wool going up, and that's good from Daniel Wool.
Nice awareness by Daniel Wool, knowing the shot clock didn't reset off of the block on Platt's shot. So nice job just throwing it up there, and it did fall in.
Huppy with it. Hartman on him, picking up a screen. Down to Kehu, and travel. I know it's not Halloween anymore, but look like he got a little scared.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Foresters have just done an awesome job. Anytime the Cougars try to make a move, it seems like the Foresters are already there anticipating it. That's been really key on their defense, forcing a lot of turnovers, and in this case, a travel.
Hartman going to Wool. Wool with the turn, drive in on Cahu. And to Hartman in low for an easy layup, excuse me.
I don't think they were expecting Hartman to dribble there, but he did, and they really underestimated that shot, and he was able to sneak in underneath and get the easy layup.
3 for Huppy, and that's good. Silences the crowd.
Yeah, that's one of those really ill-advised shots. You don't want to just keep the momentum running for the Foresters, but he knocked it in and had the opposite effect.
Wool getting it to Murder, now to Heinen. Heinen picks up the screen from Wool. Out to Murder. Drive post up into Platt for 3. That's off the mark. Offensive board to Murder. Finding Heinen. Now to Platt. He'll go up and is fouled.
Yeah, just excellent job. Every team, every player on the Foresters right now just completely aware of what's going on and what they need to do, and just with twitch-like reflexes. I love it. Going after the ball, getting themselves second chance opportunities, and more importantly, getting to the line again.
That foul is going to be on Cahu. That's his second. So Platt going to shoot 2 with 50 seconds remaining in this first half. Platt hitting the first. As we see Daniel Wool going to take a seat. The freshman, Mason Coverstone in. First action we'll see from the freshman tonight.
Yeah, if the Foresters can keep this 10-plus point lead, I think we're going to see a lot of the new faces come out, try to see what they can do.
Tackett bringing it up for the Cougars. Huppy with it, going cross side, hit away by Murder and out. Good defense there from Murder. He has the assignment of Matuis, and so far he's not given an inch.
Yeah, I think the Foresters just in general really feeding off one another right now. Just big play after big play. It's like they're trying to outdo each other.
You know, last year it seemed like Pippinger was the best perimeter defender, and now Murder and Hartman both trying to take over that role.
Yeah, that next man up mentality is just excellent, and I love seeing great defenders like that.
Huppy thought about shooting, pump fake, 5 on the shot clock. Tackett with it, going down to Cahu, up for 2. That's going to just hit the front iron, no good. 15 on left to play, and now the Foresters holding for the last shot.
Coach Platt calling the play out.
Hartman with it to Heinen, it's tipped. 3 seconds, Heinen step back 3, not there. And that's how this first half will come to a close with the Foresters leading the Cougars 46-30.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably not how they wanted that last play to go, but either way, those last 8 minutes of the half, the Foresters really dominated. They got to feel good going into the locker room.
We're going to take just here side Platt Arena. I'm Logan Hunt. I'm joined by Caleb Overfelt, and this is FDN.
Hello and welcome to FDN News. I'm Jonathan Kane.
And I'm Kelsey Cruz. Huntington University is known for being one of the safest college campuses in Indiana. However, campus shootings have become more common across the country. As one Huntington County deputy tells me, it's not a case of if this could happen at HU, but when.
After a recent campus shooting in Oregon, the results were devastating. Huntington University sent out an email after the shooting reminding students of the protocol if this were ever to occur at HU.
It's frightening, but unfortunately, it's where we are in society.
One criminal justice major carries a pocket knife.
If an instance were to arise where someone was within my reach to fight back or counter something to possibly save lives here on campus, I believe that it's my responsibility to take action.
In 2013, Huntington University was ranked second for the safest college campus in Indiana. But of course that doesn't mean that students are automatically safe from all types of harm. So if you were sitting in a classroom setting like this one and you heard gunshots in the hallway, what should you do? I decided to find out.
There's three things that we've been educating the public on, especially schools. Run, hide, and fight. There's actually a video developed by Homeland Security. It's being taught by the Indiana State Police and also our department. You want to take everything that you can. You want to take chairs such as this. You want to take all the chairs in your classroom. You want to take as many chairs as you possibly can. Get everybody involved in your classroom. If all of things fail and somebody happens to get in that room, you're going to be forced to have to do something. The last thing we want you to do is to hide underneath a table and assume that they're not going to shoot you.
Deputy Newton hopes to see the local police come to HU sometime soon, so they can share safety tips that will help students know how to respond to a campus shooting.
Campus leaders say if you see or hear anything suspicious, make sure you report it to the authorities.
The Confederate flag has been the center of controversy this year. Still, it flies high in Huntington County. Legislators voted to remove the flag from the South Carolina State House a couple months ago. However, drivers on US 24 can catch a glimpse of it as they drive into Huntington. A home that sits next to the state highway has the flag flying in view of the road. According to the homeowner, Karen Holman, people have been very supportive. To many, the symbol represents a time of slavery and poor race relations. However, Holman tells us that local drivers honk in support of the flag 50 or 60 times a day. Because this is one of the first things drivers see heading into Huntington, we wanted to know what Mayor Brooks Fetters thinks about that first impression. He did not see the flag as a concern.
My feeling is it's a private citizen who's stating a private opinion and exercising their civil rights to have free speech. It's not within the city limits, so honestly the mayor has very little to say about that other than express an opinion about the existence of it. But if it's not out in the state highway right away, if it's not on public property, it can be flying wherever somebody on a personal level wants to fly it.
We would love to know what you think about this issue, so feel free to tell us on our Facebook and Twitter pages.
Students had a different taste of worship this past Tuesday at chapel. For the second year in a row, HU presented a rock hop service. Filled with loud, energizing music performances, the service offered a variety of music styles. Hannah Schaefer started the concert with Christian pop music. 3CK and Damon Golden followed with rap. Both artists involved the student body in their performances. 390 East was the final act of the concert. The group featured 4 musicians who at one time pursued the rock star lifestyle. Since then, the rock group has dedicated their career to worship ministry. Students reacted to the concert in different ways. Some appreciated the new style of worship, while others found it too loud. After the concert, FDN sat down with the artists to hear about what they thought about the performance.
You wake up and everybody has different schedules, and some could have been, just rolled out of bed and came to chapel. Like, I wasn't quite sure if everybody would be up and awake, but as soon as you walk out there, everybody was just like ready to praise God, and so that just made it really easy to just let God use me.
The artists hope to perform at HU again in the future.
Last week, faculty inducted more than 20 students into one of the most prestigious organizations on campus. Family members and students came out to support their fellow foresters as they entered Alpha Chi. Alpha Chi is a National Honor Society for students in all academic disciplines. It is dedicated to making scholarship effective for good. The students inducted into the program were among the top 10% of their class. Candidates are also required to be nominated by their departmental advisor. During the ceremony, advisors briefly spoke about each student. Then president of Alpha Chi's Beta chapter, Bronwyn Fetters, led the inductees in a pledge. After the ceremony, junior and new Alpha Chi member Gina Eisenhut expressed her feelings about the honor.
I'm just feeling really blessed to have this opportunity to join just a great group of students and just be a part of something really cool that can represent Huntington.
The new Alpha Chi members will be responsible for organizing many of the forums and academic events on campus this year.
Well, that's all we have for you this week in this installment of FDN News.
Don't forget to check us out online at forresterdigital.net and follow us on Twitter at FDN_news.
As always, thank you for watching. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
The alumni office at Huntington University is really here to stay in touch with the alumni and graduates, as well as provide resources to them so they can reconnect. It's just really important to us that we keep in touch with them and then let them know what's going on campus as well, things that they might want to continue to stay involved with or maybe participate in an alumni gathering.
I started getting involved as an alumni board member, and we would do various projects throughout the university, throughout the year. Just being able to meet people who've graduated and to listen to their stories about the university, back then the college, and how it's grown today, it's really an honor and a privilege to be a Forester. I knew that this was going to be the university that I was going to graduate from, and I have friends here that will be lifelong.
Chapel is important because it gives us that moment as a corporate body to come together, to be unified under one sole purpose, and that purpose being the worship of God. You know, we have many different majors, many different job responsibilities that we do here, but the one thing that we all have in common is our love and affinity for the Lord. And it's important because it gives us an opportunity to express that at the same time in the same location. And so there are some elements that are important to have as a foundation in any service. Number one is Jesus. If Jesus isn't magnified, glorified, honored, and worshiped in any setting, then that's not the type of service that we want to have demonstrated here. So Christ has to be the chief cornerstone of everything that we do in the service. It flows around, it receives its instruction from Christ. So my real answer is Jesus. Jesus has to be present, right? And we who facilitate, whether it's Joyful Noise, whether it's myself speaking or other speakers, I hope that we are being guided and led by the Holy Spirit. So, yeah, that's all I would say is good.
Welcome back here live inside Platte Arena, where your Huntington University Foresters lead the St. Xavier University Cougars 46-30 at half. Hi everyone, I'm Logan Hunt, alongside me, I'm joined by Caleb Overfelt, and we've had a very exciting first half of play, Caleb.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really even at the get-go, but the Foresters really pulled away toward the second part of that first half and looking really good, especially Daniel Wool, 17 points, 5 rebounds, and he's 7 for 8 from the field. Fantastic. Couldn't have hoped for a better start from Dan.
Heinen having 5 assists, Platt having 5 rebounds. Key stats sometimes get overlooked, but the Foresters shooting 55% as a team compared to St. Xavier only shooting 39%. That's been a lot on the pride of Huntington and their defense.
Yeah, Larry Motuzis, the player to watch for St. Xavier, only 2 points, 0 for 4 from the field. He's only got a pair of free throws. So excellent job locking down their biggest player. And as you mentioned, Derek Heinen with the 5 assists. He's so good at driving, and obviously Xavier knows to look for him as really the top player for the Foresters, so they're collapsing on him, and then he finds the open man with the drive-in kick. He's been excellent with that tonight.
And the same Matuza in their last outing had 31 points and 11 rebounds, was 11 for 18 from the field, and so far you mentioned 2 points off of 2 free throws, only gotten 4 looks at the ball, and a lot of that's been Devin Murder out there on him doing a fantastic job defensively. So I have to give a shout out to Murder. Hasn't done much offensively, but has been very, very stingy defensively.
Yeah, and Coach Platt really likes a defensive specialist player. We've seen him use it the last few seasons, most recently with Kyle Pippinger, who's no longer with the team. He transferred, but Murder really filling that role well, just absolutely locking down. And I think the Foresters as a whole have been playing really solid man defense, just shutting down and really anticipating the Cougars' every move.
And you know, something else we talked about before the game was who's going to step up for the Foresters, who's going to be the key player, who's going to lead this team, because last year there was a lot of doubt, was Peterson going to do it, was Alt going to do it, you know, who was going to step up, and I think we have our answer already with Daniel Wool.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Wool really stepped up. I mean, we've seen Heinen be a leader throughout his career here, even as a freshman, but Wool really big, playing really well inside, playing really aggressively, bringing his usual energy, so nice job. And I really got to give a shout out also to Kyle Hartman, playing really well. I think also sort of leading this team from the point, and you don't have to be the oldest player on the court to be a leader, and he's really proving that tonight.
I say we've seen Hartman come in as the backup point guard, and when Rutland got in foul trouble early, Hartman had his number called and really performed very well. And I'm interested to see what more Zach Rutland has. There's also some flashes of greatness, some very quick moves inside that we haven't seen too often here at Huntington. And he's adding a whole new dynamic of play that the Forces aren't used to.
Yeah, Zach Rutland really off to a great start, and he definitely shows a lot of promise. Unfortunately, got some mismatches down low on defense, drew a couple early fouls, and that gave Hartman his opportunity, and he certainly stepped up to that challenge.
It's going to definitely be an exciting second half action. We're going to see the starters back on the floor with Rutland, Karazia, Wool, Heinen, and Platt for the Forsters. Matuzis, Moore. Also, we'll see Nego, Core, and rounding out the starting five for the Cougars will be Ratchko. Both teams got in a bit of foul trouble early, but are going to be able to kind of start fresh here in the second half as Moore gets it in for the Cougars. Nego with it, trying to go down low, tip pass from Wool. Moore comes up with it in the corner, driving baseline, and he stepped out of bounds. Turnover out the gate for the Cougars.
Yeah, we saw Daniel Wool get a nice tip there, and even though it didn't result in the turnover, a lot of times whenever those tips happen, it knocks the entire offense off balance, and I think that's what we saw there. And then the confused player decided to travel and got an easy one there.
Well, we've seen Heinen bring the ball up the past few times for the Foresters, and also something to know here, the Cougars switching to a 2-3 zone. See if the Foresters can't shoot their way out of this, get some penetration inside possibly. Wool with it, step back. And that's good for Daniel Wool. The hot streak still going.
Well, you mentioned filling it up, getting the penetration in the middle, and that's exactly how the Foresters decided to attack that zone. And nice job. And they're not going to be able to hold that 2-3 zone for long if Daniel Wool keeps up what he's been doing tonight.
Daniel Wool, a very athletic 4 player, has a good outside shot. Is definitely the player that could do it for the Foresters, breaking that zone throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
See Matus is with it, going down to Urachko. Karazia on him. Urachko taking it in. Dish out to Nego. 5 on the shot clock. Nego with the floater. Not there. Nego going to go over the back of Rutland. And an early foul for Nego.
Yeah, despite only being 5'9", Rutland not afraid to play inside and went up for that rebound. Got himself in good position to draw that over the back foul.
That's Nego's 4th foul of the ball game.
Yeah, you mentioned a fresh start as far as team fouls goes, but obviously the personal ones stick with you, and we've seen a lot of players rack up a few fouls, so that's definitely going to be a storyline we're going to follow through the rest of this game.
Rutland bringing it up court, finding Heinen. Moore getting a hand on it. Heinen looking for someone to pass, picking up his dribble, going to go to Rutland. Still the 2-3 zone, staying there in the alley-oop, and Wool able to lay it in.
Yeah, I think that took the Cougars completely flat-footed. They had no response to that whatsoever and just let Wool lay that one in, as you mentioned.
Forced it a nice job baiting that, bringing Platt and Karazia both up to bring that defensive line up and let Wool go baseline.
Yep.
Moore with it. Matus now driving. Kick out to Moore. Moore with the step back 3. Not there. Moore getting the rebound up and in for the lefty layup.
Yeah, the Forsters have been really rebound hungry, but right there, nobody really went for that ball, allowed the second chance opportunity.
50-32, Foresters on top. Rutland swinging to Heinen. Heinen with the pump fake. Drive and kick to Platt in the corner for 3. That's good for Kyle Platt.
Again, it seems like any time Derek Heinen looks like he's going to go to the basket, the entire defense collapses on him, and that opens up so many players, and he's going to get another assist.
Moore quickly taking himself, not there. Wool with the rebound. Now Wool getting up quickly to Platt in the corner, back to Wool. Wool driving in, easy 2 for Daniel Wool, who's just taking over this ball game.
I think Wool's feeling it. I don't know about you. He took that one coast to coast, went straight up for it, and man, he's racking up the points real quick.
Matus is driving in, and a charge going the other way.
Excellent call. We saw that one from a mile away. I believe, was that Wool or Heinen?
It was Wool that slid over. Beautiful play there for Huntington. We see Nego coming out, Huppy coming in for St. Xavier.
And how many times have we seen Daniel Wool do this throughout his career? I mean, he just really, once he gets going, he's hard to stop. And it seems like he's added a lot of fundamentals, a lot of just really basic skills that maybe he was lacking a little bit. Not really lacking, but didn't favor over the more explosive play. And it looks like he's added those fundamentals to his repertoire, and it's just adding up to just outstanding plays on both sides of the ball.
We're going to see Wool be the inbounder to full court press coming for the Cougars.
Well, we saw him switch to the zone. That really hasn't worked very well, so now they're going to try the press, just anything to slow down this Foresters onslaught so far.
Heinen going to bring the ball up. More on him. They're going to Rutland. Rutland getting it down to Heinen with the up and under. Should be the and one, it will be.
Yeah, he knew he was beat. I believe that was Moore. He knew that he had gotten completely duped, and you just got to let him go up and get the easy points on that one. But instead, he reached around, grabbed him, and now you're going to put one of the best free throw shooters up at the line for an old-fashioned three-point opportunity.
Well, you see Stanley Moore, the senior, pleading his case, and it was a good call. It got underneath Heinen. You have to let the shooter come down like that when you're inside, and Heinen with the opportunity for the and one. Big-time play for the junior, and free throw rattling in.
Yeah, nice soft touch there, allows them to get that extra point, and the Foresters are absolutely on fire, not even 4 minutes into this half.
Platt out on Matuzis. Wrapping around, gonna go to Moore. Moore seems to be the offense here for the Cougars as he's able to get that, and Heinen going down.
Yeah, and that was an easy bucket. I think Heinen looks like he took an elbow to the gut. Looks like he might have had the wind knocked out of him just based on his posture right now. Hopefully nothing worse than that.
We see Murder. Looks like he's going to come in for Heinen.
And Heinen obviously not deeply affected. He wanted to stay in, but Coach Platt playing it safe.
Maybe he was trying to bait the call just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe so.
And again, a full court press coming for the Cougars.
Yeah, it seems like they're really just trying to press these inbounds, see if they can get an easy turnover, but as soon as the Foresters get the ball into one of the guards, they fall back.
Rutland with it on the wing, finding Wool top of the key. Here comes Murdered, driving in, pull out to Carazia. He'll go up for two. That's going to roll in.
And Daniel Wolf's had such an explosive game that we've kind of stopped talking about Carazia, but again, nice inside presence, nice finger roll there.
Moore with the spin up for two, and Moore's just trying to take over the game for St. Xavier.
Well, it looks like Rutland's going to come back as well. He does not have numbers.
Rutland maneuvering in and out of defenders, though.
Yeah, he wisely checked out of that one.
Open three for Platt, rolling around and out.
He's had a hard time with his three-point shot so far today, but really made up for it with his inside presence.
Huppy taking the three. That's no good. Carazia with the good board, and here comes Rutland now running up. Gonna go to Wool. Bobbling, losing it out. It's gonna go off of Huppy, who had a good hustle play getting back defensively.
Yeah, I love that the Foresters are continuing their aggression. They're not trying to fall back on just playing it safe because they have a big lead. They're keeping to what got them there. It was a good pass. I don't think Wool was able to corral that one in, but they are going to get the opportunity to have another offensive possession.
Well, the Foresters are up 60-34 here, and got to give you an update on the women's team played yesterday at Holy Cross to start their season. They won 89-87 in overtime, and it was a thriller for sure as Jacqueline Bonema was able to hit a nice shot just to send it to overtime. Then Miranda Palmer, with 2 seconds remaining, hits a game-winning three for the Foresters.
Yeah, this Forester team was good when most of these ladies were freshmen, and man, they just keep, as they get older and more experienced and used to playing with each other, I think that's a big thing. They just are looking really good, and they're definitely going to be a national presence in the NAIA Division II.
Definitely got to think the Lady Foresters going to go back to Sioux City, Iowa for the national tournament. Miranda Palmer in the game had 30 points, shot 11 for 21 from the field, 4 for 7 from three. Had 6 assists. I mean, just a big presence there. Also, Jacqueline Baum had 10 points, 12 rebounds. 8 of the 12 rebounds were offensive.
Yeah, the Foresters, play in a tough Crossroads division, but if they keep this up, they're going to have a couple all-conference players by the end of this season.
Daniel Wool, speaking of having a big game, Wool with 23 points, shooting 91% from the field, and has 6 rebounds already.
Yeah, he's just unstoppable right now.
We see Heinen with it. Murder now to Karazia in the corner. Karazia working it down to Wool. Urachko on him. Wool taking it at him, and that one's going to roll around and out. Rutland with the open three off the rebound. Around and out. Wool can't get it to drop. And now here comes Moore in transition. He's going to take it right inside and roll that in for an easy layup.
Man, Rutland's three was so close, and I really would have loved to see him hit that big shot.
Heinen going down to Karazia. He's going to get it blocked by Kehu. Great defense there. Moore once again coming in transition up for two. Not good. Urachko comes up with the board. Up for two, not there. Moore with the offensive board. Out to Matuis. Swings it to Huppy for an open look at three. No good. Urachko again with the offensive rebound.
Forsters needs to box out. They're just reaching up for it and getting beat every time.
Wool playing hard defense there, and finally Murder comes up with the rebound.
Well, despite not getting those rebounds, a good defensive possession by the Foresters, holding them after multiple opportunities.
Rowland with the pass inside to Karazia.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, excellent job out of the two newcomers, and Rutland pulling everybody to them, and that's something we've seen the Cougars do. They really panic when somebody gets inside, and nice response there by Moore.
But huge three there from Moore.
Yeah, absolutely, but as I was saying, it seems like they really panic on defense anytime any of the guards get in the paint, and it's really set up some nice assists from Rutland, and we've also seen with Daniel Wool earlier.
Wool driving in, can't get it to drop, in a late foul call, bailing Daniel Wool out.
I think Wool might have landed a little bit awkwardly on his ankle. He's a little slow to get up, but throughout his career, he's always been a really tough player. Seems to will himself through these kind of scenarios. And he doesn't appear to be limping or anything too bad, which is good.
Going to clean up his own mess there. We see that foul going to be on Urachko. That's his third and the team's fourth. And the Foresters, no team fouls already in the second half.
Yeah, it seems like the officials in general have not called them quite as liberally as they did in the first half. And the Foresters just playing outstanding, really clean defense, limiting the opportunities for shots and also the opportunities for fouls.
Wool missing the free throw. We saw it last year. He worked on that new routine. Very quick release for him on the free throw. One dribble on the shot. And the second one going to drop. And now we'll see Lockwood come in for Wool.
Yeah, Wool's going to get his first break of the half, and he's just been playing crazy. But maybe slowing down a little bit, starting to force things, so they're going to give him a little breather.
Foresters up 63-41. 13:50 remaining in the ball game. Moore's been outstanding for the Cougars, driving in, going off, and Lockwood with the block on Kehu, and they're going to call a foul. And I don't know, from our angle, that looked like all ball.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't see it quite as well as they do, but man, it looks like clean defense to me. And if you're Lockwood, you can't feel too bad about that one.
That's going to be Lockwood's third foul, though. We saw him just come in for Wool. We know the Foresters are limited at the forward spot.
And they have their two biggest players right now, both Karazia and Lockwood, 6'7". So they're trying to play a little bit of big ball.
Kehu able to drill his first free throw attempt. And you know, St. Xavier come in, they'd already played 2 games. Foresters opening up with this game, and it looks like it was the complete opposite. We see Kehu hitting the second free throw, but it really just feels like St. Xavier came out a little slow and sluggish, like they hadn't played any games, didn't know the tempo.
Yeah, they are, and it seems like they're making the same mistakes over and over, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And the Foresters, as you mentioned, look very confident.
Heinen going one-on-one, can't get it. Urachko with it, going to Moore. Moore going to be called for the travel.
Just excellent job by Rutland, just getting himself in a position to disrupt that fast break. He didn't even have his hands out, but just had his body in a position to force that travel.
So we've seen some very good defense from the Foresters so far. Rutland going to Karazia, down to Murder. Nice pump fake, just can't quite finish the layup. Got himself a little too far under the basket. Moore with the step back. Well defended, not there. Ball gonna be hit out by the Cougars.
Yeah, and it seems like St. Xavier's really starting to panic a little bit here. Really not using a lot of the shot clock, just trying to get whatever opportunity they can. And I don't know if that's the best way to go. There's still 13 minutes left in this game.
Forrest able to break the press. You see Matuis on Rutland. Rutland asking for the screen. Pull back. That's good for Zach Rutland. That's his money shot.
Yeah, I didn't see who was defending him, but we saw Rutland go behind the back, and I think they thought he was going to continue to drive, and they turned around. Where is he? Oh, he's shooting the ball. Got 2 points.
That's a special player that Coach Platt picked up out of Cecina. Ratchko leaving it off for Moore for 3. That's no good. Lockwood corralling the board.
Again, just not a good shot. I don't think they're picking their shots very well, and it seems like they are in a panic mode.
Behind an extra pass to Murder. Murder driving in. Gonna get it swatted. And gonna go out of bounds. Forrester's gonna keep possession. Now we'll see Hartman, Wool, and Platt all in. Murder, Heinen, and Carazia gonna take a seat.
We saw Hartman had a really good first half, and then coming out the second half, Rutland's really been playing well. They're going to give him a break, and we're going to see a little bit more of Hartman right now.
Hartman with it, driving in, out to Platt for 3. An air ball there, Platt just a bit long.
Yeah, he's had a hard time with his three-point shots. I don't know if it's in the team's best interest for him to keep shooting those because he can really contribute in so many different areas.
I agree with that. As you see Matuis driving in, going to be fouled on the floor.
Coach Platt wanting a double dribble there. He's not going to get one instead of foul.
That's only Platt's first foul, though. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, and only 2 so far for the Foresters as far as the team foul situation.
And a foul looks like going to be on Lockwood. That's going to be his 4th foul.
It'll be really interesting to see if he stays in. It looks like Carazia is going to be replacing him.
Yeah, we will see Carazia come in for Lockwood.
Lockwood clearly frustrated at acquiring so many fouls so quickly. He's a great player, definitely had some great moments last year. Just having kind of a rough night as far as the fouls are concerned.
You see Matuis missing the open 3. Rutland finding Hartman. Hartman getting back to Rutland. He'll pull. And that's good again for Zach Rutland.
It's really important for a freshman player to see the ball go through the hoop on his first game. We saw him with that nice around-the-back move to the pull-up jumper, and now I think he's starting to feel it.
We're going to see Hartman called for the foul on Moore. Moore, it's a bit more explosive than what Hartman thought.
Yeah, and the Foresters done a really good job throughout this second half not drawing fouls, but then they've got 3 quick ones already, and now the team foul situation's tied up at 4.
You see Moore with the ball, going out to Urachko. Hartman almost getting his hand on it. Moore trying to go to work, going in. Hartman with the swat!
And here comes Rutland, he's off to the races.
Sees he doesn't have numbers.
Yeah, wisely
back to Hartman. Now Rutland fielding it for 3. Not there.
Man, I think this place would have gone ballistic had he hit that. Everybody's really liking the play they see so far from the freshman.
Huppy going down to Kehu, going to get it hit by Carazia, and that's going to be a foul.
Yeah, and he knows he shouldn't have done that one. He just kind of reached in at the last second and slapped the arm. With Lockwood with so many fouls, he definitely needs to watch those kind of moments. I mean, there's still plenty of time left in this game. They don't want to acquire too many more fouls.
No, I'm just looking at this Rutland and Hartman combo. We know they both play the point position, but I like this combo.
Oh, I'm absolutely loving it too.
Really
Looking really good. A lot of promise from these 2 young players. And I think more importantly, takes a little bit of the pressure off of Heinen running the point. I think last year, some of his struggles and a little bit of a sophomore slump because so much pressure was put on him to be a leader and to run the point. Really the leading scorer as well. So I really like this and what it means for the team as a whole.
Definitely hard to be the point guard and be the leading scorer as well. Now we see a lot of scoring coming from all sides of the ball. A lot of teamwork on both sides, and great defense from the Foresters so far in this matchup.
Yeah, and as you've mentioned before, it doesn't look like a team this is their first outing together, especially with so many new players. These guys look like they've been playing together all year.
Now we see Hartman playing the point, Rutland playing off the ball. 10:45 remain. Foresters up 68-44. Rutland running into Wool, getting it back to Wool. Wool driving in for 2 and getting it swatted by Urechko. 10 on the shot clock. Karazia coming up for the screen. Rutland driving, kick to Hartman. He'll drive in for 2, and that's good, but a charge.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I think the whole stadium a little disappointed about that call right now, but I don't care, charge or not. I love the aggression and the confidence the freshman's playing with in his first ever college game.
Well, you know, St. Xavier did have 4 fouls to Huntington's none. Now Huntington with 6 straight fouls in a row.
Yeah, definitely don't want to get too careless, even though you built up a big lead.
Kehu taking the shot, and that's good. Still, we see the press. .22 advantage for Huntington. Rutland almost losing it. Daniel Wool going to Hartman, 10 on the shot clock. Hartman trying to get it inside, dish to Karazia. He's long, and Wool and Hartman colliding inside.
Yeah, it looks like both players are okay. All indications so far. Both of them get a little zealous, 2 high-energy players there, and got into each other.
Now we see Heinen coming in for Hartman with 9:45 remaining in the game.
And again, I don't think that had anything to do with the previous play. It looks like Heinen was ready to check in a while ago. Forster's looking to close this one right now. Don't want to get too sloppy on either side of the ball, and definitely need to slow down on the fouls.
Well, we see Nigo in the game. We know he has 4 fouls for St. Xavier. So whoever has him might want to try taking him down low and pushing at him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matuis behind the back, going inside. Not going to be there. K with the offensive board and put back.
Yeah, an unfortunate Wool playing defense kind of as he was dribbling the ball out across the wing. Wasn't able to get the rebound.
Heinen with it. Going to Rutland. Rutland pull up. Not there. Wool getting his hand on it. No one else crashing. Matuis coming in the fast break. Pop out to Nigo for 3. That's not going to rattle home. Heinen comes up with the board.
There's 2 players down on the other end of the court.
And Wool slamming it home on the fast break.
Yeah, just as it seemed like the Foresters were starting to slow down, another big play from the 2 Columbia City veterans.
You got to like the intensity from the Foresters. Heinen to Wool to extend this lead back to 22 points with under 9 minutes to play.
You know, I mentioned earlier, this team looks like they've been playing together for a long time. But if you think about those 2 players, really, Wool and Heinen have been playing together for a long time, both of them graduating the same year from Columbia City. So obviously a lot of chemistry there, and that really showed on that last play.
And it, like we mentioned, you saw coming off of the miss and the quick push, something we didn't see too often from Huntington last year, is really trying to run a fast break. We saw him run a lot of half court, and it seems like the whole dynamic here has changed.
Yeah, I think you've really said it there. I think the Foresters just had kind of an off year last year, really only getting 4 conference wins, just looked a little lethargic, looked like there was just something wrong as far as team dynamic goes. They weren't really playing as a team, seemed to have weird struggles. But obviously it's a whole new year right now, a whole new season, and they're out looking to show that they can be the Foresters of old.
Looking to be the Foresters of old, trying to find their way back to Branson, Missouri into the national tournament. Disappointing season last year, but right now high hopes for the Foresters as Matuis popping out for the 3, and that's going to drop for Matuis, his first points of the second half.
Yeah, and he's definitely going to have to get involved if they're going to have a late game comeback. Really had a quiet night for their top scorer.
We see St. Xavier really upping the defense. Rutland going to Platt in the corner, 15 on the shot clock. Platt working it down to Karazia. Cahill not even on him, back out to Heinen, pump fake, drive in, pass to Karazia, 5 on the shot clock. The running hook, not there. And here comes Matusis the other way, pull up 3, that's good.
All right, again, Foresters can't get too sloppy. There's still 8 minutes left in this game. And we've seen, as you mentioned, the Cougars trying anything new on defense, and they've stepped up their aggression, playing really tight up toward the half-court line.
Heinen going in. Pass to Wolf for three. That's not there. Nigo with the ball. That's not exactly the shot you want to take. It's Nigo now pulling for three. That's not going to be there. And a foul on Daniel Wool.
Yeah, again, just a little over energetic there. Tried to go after the ball, but got the foul there. His third.
And that's going to take us to our under 8 media timeout with the Foresters leading St. Xavier 70-54. We'll be right back with some more Forester basketball action.
It's extremely prevalent in the movies we watch, the music we listen to, or the lives that we got. But I'm not talking money, lust, or something as simple as those. I'm talking self-indulgence, greed, and pride which need exposed. From the very beginning, dealing with Adam and Eve, someone told us a lie and straight up made us believe that we're so very important and ever so clean, that our lives are so necessary and that we establish the peace. That I'm the status quo and it's not you, it's me. Well, they forgot to mention that this life ain't glee. It's not about you and I, and it ain't about protecting me. It's not the clothes we wear or the makeup on your cheek. It can't be the number of touchdown points scored or successes with those beautiful feet, and it most definitely isn't the money that we got in the pocket of our jeans.
We're back live here inside Platt Arena, where it's going to be Urachko shooting the 1-and-1 for St. Xavier.
And we mentioned the foul situation, how St. Xavier racked up 4 early, and now 7 straight by the Foresters without St. Xavier committing a foul.
We see Lutton bringing it up. Man-to-man defense still here, and Heinen with the beautiful back door.
Yeah, absolute laser pass there by Ruttman, getting it exactly where it needed to go, and the margin of error was very small there, but he delivered. Nice job from the point guard.
Ball going down low to Kehu, and he will be called for the travel. Carazia do a nice job rotating over defensively.
Yeah, some excellent vocal coaching from Coach Platt. Noticed the situation, called Daniel Wool to some help defense, and it was able to force a turnover.
Platt getting it into Heinen. Heinen met by Nigo in the backcourt, going to walk it up. Rutland with a quick crossover inside, losing it. Now here comes Nigo the other way. That's going to be a charge. And Nigo has fouled out of this ball game.
Yeah, and it seemed almost inevitable at the first half, all these fouls that were racking up, that we would lose somebody. And as you mentioned, Nigo's the first one to go.
We see Rutland coming out, Kyle Hartman coming in for him, and Nigo really could have avoided that foul as well. He had Urachko running down the floor, didn't go to him in time, kind of waited, and then drove it right in at Wool. I mean, he really could have avoided that.
Right. I mean, like I said, we've really been seeing a sense of panic from the Cougars. I mean, ever since there are about 13 minutes left in this half, it seems like they're just trying desperately to crawl their way back, and they seem to be a little more patient, let the game come to them.
Here comes Hartman making that turn, getting it up to Platt in time. Now to Heinen. Heinen with more on him, who just came in for Nigo. Misses around K, who comes up with it, gets it to Huppy. Huppy again with the fake up for 2. Good defense from Wool. Now Hartman within the foul on Huppy. And that might be Huppy's 5th as well. No, that's going to be his 2nd.
A nice job by Hartman holding his ground there. Being patient, knowing that he's played a little too hard, and knowing how the officials have been calling this game so far. It's great heads-up play.
6:22 remain. Foresters leading 72-54. And their first game of the season here inside Platt Arena. Hartman getting the screen. Out to Heinen, pull up 3. Off the front iron, Wool with the offensive board. Back off to Heinen. And gonna be hit off of Heinen's foot and out of bounds.
Yeah, Heinen kind of surveying the field after that, the miss and then the rebound by Wool, and just wasn't really paying attention. The ball got swatted and went off of his shoe.
Huppy working it down to Moore, spinning on Hartman, a foul going the other way. Oh no, they're calling it on Hartman. It looked like Moore may have wrapped his arm, but the foul will be on Hartman. That's gonna be Hartman's 4th foul, the team's 8th. So we see Devin Murder coming in now for Derek Heinen.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if we might see some guards that we haven't seen play yet today come in, because we saw Zach Rutland, who we've seen all play all game, getting a little ambitious, needs to slow the game down a little bit. And, of course, as a freshman playing your first game and playing very well, it's kind of understandable that he's playing so aggressively. And then now we see Hartman, who's getting into foul trouble. So it looks like he'll be content to stay in the game right now.
Moore again tacking on a free throw. So he's having a nice night for the Cougars. Hits the second as well. See again a full court press. Hartman coming to the ball, able to keep it alive, and now a foul on Matuis. That's going to be his second.
Well, you don't want to be guilty of generalizing on a player after only watching them play one game, but definitely something that I see that might be something to watch for Hartman is he's really good at drawing fouls, putting his body exactly where it needs to be to get them to draw the foul, and I think he's drawn probably 5 or 6 tonight, and he's a pretty good free throw shooter to boot after that he got the jitters out of his way.
You see him shooting the 1-and-1, that being the team's 7th. You got to think Hartman learned that at Bishop Dwenger High School, big school, playing in the big class. In Indiana, that's all we do is play basketball, so at the highest level.
Absolutely.
Hartman missing that, but it's like a lane violation. It's going to give Hartman another chance.
I believe that was Moore. He's got a little ambitious, dove in. A lot of mental mistakes from Xavier down the stretch of this game, really kind of imploding. And, of course, that's not to undermine how well the Foresters have been playing.
Jimmy Hartman can't quite convert on his second opportunity there. Moore going behind the back, finding Urachko. He's trying to power his way inside, flip out to Huppy. Out to Moore up top. Hartman on him. Moore coming in. And a foul on Daniel Wool. Give Moore 2 shots at the line. That's his 4th foul as well.
Yeah, Wool put in a tough position there, knowing how the game's been called all night, but he had to slide in there on the help defense as Moore was able to get around almost everybody.
Now, you'd like to see the Foresters slow down a bit offensively with 5:28 remaining. Have a nice, strong lead here. Moore able to hit another free throw as he's over 20 points now in the game. Seems to be the only offensive spark for St. Xavier.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to what you said about the Foresters slowing down, it's easy when you're a young team. A lot of players, this is their first college game they've ever played, and most of them playing really well. They want to keep that fire up, but at this point in the game, as you mentioned, you really need to slow down, burn a lot of that shot clock. Don't give the Cougars an opportunity to come back into this one.
The Cougars have cut it down to 15, and the Foresters still, like you mentioned, want to slow it down a bit with the young players. You got to think you want to go 100% the whole time, keep pushing, keep going with what's been working. But when you have this type of lead and the type of foul trouble you're in with some of your bigs, you don't want to have your big guys start fouling out and giving some easy points down low, especially when both teams are in the bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a delicate balance when you do have a lead like this, that you want to keep the intensity up, keep what got there. You don't want the team to have this big momentum shift because you're laying down on them. But at the same time, you have to know the situation and know to slow it down a little bit. I think that's probably what they're talking about in the huddle right now. This is a good timeout. And even though it was taken by St. Xavier, and I think that all they need to do is stretch out these offensive possessions and they can put this one away.
I agree with you on that. The Force going to have to just draw out some longer possessions. I'd like to see Hartman take over this offense a little bit more, and like I mentioned, to really slow it down. Hopefully that's what Platt's going to be telling him there in the huddle. Like I mentioned, this is a very young team, no seniors. You have Wool and Heinen in there as the juniors, along with Benedict, who hasn't seen too much playing time except for about a couple minutes at the very beginning.
Yeah, and we've mentioned the guards, especially Rutland and Hartman, how impressive they've been just with explosive play. But what would really impress me, and I think a lot of the people in here, is to see those freshmen have the poise to know the situation of the game to really slow it down.
See Hartman losing the ball and then being fouled by Matuzis. So Hartman again going to find himself at the free throw line, where he struggled lately.
Yep, kind of been on and off, a little streaky from the line. Definitely had plenty of opportunities, as I mentioned. Does a great job drawing the foul. That time maybe unintentionally on his part, as he did bobble his dribble.
That's going to be Matuzis' third foul as well.
And I don't think anybody expected him to be shut down in this game as much as he has. Just really a testament to the forces. And again, kind of the unsung hero is Murder here. Just doing an excellent job shutting him down, playing great defense. Not necessarily the fireworks that we've seen from some of the other players on the offensive side, but really defense wins games, and I think that's been the case here tonight, shutting down Matuzzi.
Definitely. We've seen the Foresters play strong, fighting through screens. We've seen Matuzzi try to come off a lot of screens. He's been running a lot of baseline, looking more like a J.J. Riddick or Kyle Korver in the NBA. Just keeps running all over the court, and like I said, kudos to Murder, usually the primary defender on him. Done a fantastic job, and we've seen Heinen have a few opportunities to guard him as well.
Yeah, you've said it really. The undercutting the screens is something I've really noticed the Foresters doing, or having the help defender just there to block the screen when it's there. Just doing an excellent job really hindering the ball movement from the Cougars.
We see Harmon miss the free throw coming the other way now. KO with it going to Moore. Hartman on him. Here comes Huppy, back to Moore, one-on-one. He'll drive in left side, go up for two, and that's good.
Yeah, and again, the defense starting to pull back a little bit, let them have those shots. It's better than fouling and letting them get points with the game clock stopped.
Forrest's going to have to get some offense, though, as Moore's taking over this ball game for the Cougars and has scored nonstop.
Yeah, and it's down to a 13-point lead.
And Daniel Wool able to draw the foul down low on Tackett. And so that's going to be Tackett's third foul, and Dan Wool will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, with a double-digit lead, or deficit rather, you might see the Cougars start to foul a little bit more. It might be a little too early yet, especially considering their foul trouble, but it's definitely something that's probably going to start happening soon, them trying to stop the clock.
Heinen and Rutland in the game now for Murder and Hartman. We see Wool hit the front half of the 1-and-1. Looking to tack on the second.
Seen a lot of synergy from Huntington's guards, and I really like having Heinen and Rutland in. Really a good pairing.
See Huppy with it on the wing. Up top, Kehu. Out to Matuzis. He'll drive in. Floater rolls in.
Again, nice job by Wool. Don't foul. That's the last thing you want to do when you have a lead like this. Let them get points with the game clock stopped. So good situational awareness by Wool, and I think his mental game has improved so much in this offseason.
I agree with you on that. Heinen with the mismatch with Kehu. Going to come back. Carazia down low. Going to go to Rutland. Floater in the lane. Not there. And Matuzis does a great job coming back to get the board. He'll bring it up himself. Pull up three. No one there. And that's going to be good. And Coach Platt has... Oh, it looks like Coach O'Malley going to call the timeout before Platt.
Yeah, if there's any person you don't want to get back into this game, as it's been cut down to 10 points now, it's Matuzzi. We talked all about how well he's been shut down, but that's really inexcusable right there. They just left him wide open, nobody running up to at least put a hand in his face, and he's going to get that one every time.
You know, I'd like to see maybe getting Devin Murder back in the game just to guard him, because we've seen when Murder's been out, Matuzzi's gone unnoticed sometimes, and seen a couple of his threes come with not a hand in his face, no one around. When they've forced it on him, he hasn't hit them necessarily. So I'd like to see a little more pressure there, but the lead down to 10 points. The lead now was up to 22 at one point.
Yeah, definitely seeing a little bit of a rally. And it's interesting, this panic mode that's kind of gotten them into this situation has seemed to gone down, and they're playing really systematic offense now, being efficient but not rushing. That's really important to do when you're trying to come back.
You see Rutland trying to break the trap here, able to get it up court.
Wool was in the wrong place at the wrong time. We're fortunate that didn't turn into a turnover.
Heinen with it, working it down to Wool, going to go to work on Tackett. Go over the top, and that's good.
Man, Wool's really good at doing a lot with a whole lot of nothing because he was in a really bad position, had 2 defenders on him. He was still able to get that one to float, get the lead back up to 12.
See Matuza coming the other way, and a push-off going to be called on him. Platt drawing that. That's going to be Matuza's 4th foul of the game.
Yeah, Matuza lowered his shoulder a little bit, pushed into him.
See Urachko coming in for Tackett. You know, Daniel Wool, with how he plays, reminds me a lot of LaMarcus Aldridge in the league. See him not necessarily the strongest player, but hustles a lot and uses that jump shot to his advantage.
Yeah, like you said, maybe not the strongest, but just straight up pure athleticism, and he uses that to every bit of advantage he can, and I think his shot has really improved. Again, his mental game's really improved. He's making really good decisions, not turning the ball over as much as he used to. We got to be excited about what we've seen from him tonight.
Say he works a lot like Doug McDermott did in college, really working his angles very well and finding the right place to be.
Absolutely.
Once again, Wool getting the ball. Urachko getting a hand on it. Cross court to Heinen for 3. Around and out.
And again, the Foresters not really using as much time as I think they should be right now. I'd really like to see them wait, get the shot clock down to 10 before they start taking those shots.
Somehow the Cougars able to keep it alive. Huppy taking another 3. He knows it's bad, drives in. Man, the foul gonna go the other way. Is there multiple Cougars storming in? That one's gonna be on Kehu.
Both teams really putting in all the effort they can down the stretch of this game, and that was really personified by that rebound battle. I think I saw probably 6 players going up for that board, and inevitably that ended up being a foul.
Huppy had 2 clean looks at the 3 and couldn't find it.
Yeah,
So
those are opportunities that kill you when you look back at the game trying to come back from a big deficit and a little bit of life breathed in, but they just can't capitalize on those 3s, and that might be big down the stretch.
Kara Zabel hitting the first free throw.
What will also be big down the stretch is free throw shooting now. We've seen the Foresters are in the double bonus. They need to put this one away by hitting those free shots.
Moore finally picking up the ball past half court. Start the clock. Matuza with it going down to Kehu. Good pump fake up and in for 2.
Again, just let them have that one. Don't foul. Good poise by the Foresters. Need to burn some clock here. Beat the press, then dribble the ball for a little while.
Rutland able to get it up by himself. Heinen with it in the far corner.
Coach Platt, patience. Really don't want them to shoot up a shot they don't need.
Wool with it, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Slide out to Heinen, extra pass to Platt in the corner for 3. There it is for Kyle Platt. Second three-pointer of the night.
He was persistent, and it's finally starting to pay off. Really pushed through those first few misses and helping put this one away now for the Foresters.
Moore with it, driving in, and a charge on Moore. Wool doing a great job standing his ground.
Yeah, took a bit of a hit on that one. A little slow to get up, but as I mentioned, Wool as tough as they come.
That's going to be Moore's 4th foul. So 2 key players, Matuza and Moore, both with 4 fouls for the Cougars with under 2 minutes to play. Down 15. Foresters have a nice lead that they've built back up.
Doing a good job. This is a good experience for these new players, learning how to play with a lead and closing out games. It's important. There's an art to it, and I think they're doing a good job. It's been a great learning experience just throughout the whole course of this game, but especially in this late phase.
Seen this press all night. And Matuza hitting it out.
1 second was shaved off the shot clock there.
Heinen able to get it in the backcourt. Moore applying some pressure. Heinen going to go up top to Rutland. Back to Heinen now. Heinen trying to work it in. Going to go down to Carazia with the mismatch on Moore, up for two, and that's good. Nice drop step there from Austin Carazia.
Yeah, Carazia has been a little quiet in the waning moments of this game, but I think he's done a great job overall. A lot of excitement for him. That might have been overshadowed by how well the guards and Daniel Wool played, but I think a lot of potential there for him to play as the post presence for the Foresters.
Silly foul there on Carazia on the other end. That's going to be his fourth foul. He's going to send Kehu to the line to shoot two. Something the Force going to have to work on is you have this lead. You don't want to foul late, and like you mentioned, let the opposing team score with the clock stopped.
Yeah, absolutely, especially down low. The two-pointers aren't going to kill you as long as they don't happen too much and as long as you can stretch out your offensive possession. So as much good as we have seen from the Foresters, obviously still some room for improvement, and that's a good thing. It's good when you see a good team that you know could be even better. So definitely some things to work on this week with practice between now and Saturday's game for Coach Platt. And again, I think a lot of room for improvement, but couldn't have asked for a better opening day for the Foresters.
No, you couldn't have. Kehu's second free throw rolling around and out. Platt getting pressure, gets it to Rutland. Forced with a little bit of a fast break, and Rutland wisely pulling it back out.
Yeah, I thought he might have gone for that one, but he checked out of it, and ill-advised pass that got tipped.
You see Platt a bit upset. Forster should have just pulled that back out with a minute to go. Kehu taking the jump shot, and that's good from the free throw line. And a timeout with 55 seconds remaining. Foresters with a 14-point advantage. Now, Caleb, what do the Foresters need to do just to finish this game out?
Well, like we've said 1,000 times, I don't want to sound too much like a broken record, but they just got to hold on to the ball on offense. And I know we've got a lot of these eager young players and even some of the veterans who tend to play more on the aggressive side. But it's okay when there's a minute left in the game to sit and dribble the ball. They're going to put some pressure on you, then get rid of it. You don't have to pass it. You don't have to find the open guy when you're up by 14 with a minute left. So, again, one or two more offensive possessions. It doesn't look like Xavier's really been fouling that much. It doesn't look like they're trying to really push this one. So just hold on to the ball, run the shot clock down. Doesn't matter if you score or not. Just run the clock down.
Daniel Wool having a great game. 30 points, shooting 75% from the field. Also 7 rebounds. Definitely came ready to play.
Yeah, this raw athleticism that we've seen from Wool really starting to become refined, and it's scary what he might be able to do for this team this year if he can keep up this.
Now we do see Rutland dribbling around, but they're going to go to Heinen. Back to Rutland as Force now looking content to run some clock. 5 on the shot clock. Rutland in for the layup, no good. And here comes Matthews getting it up. Thrown to Strong by Heinen, able to intercept it.
And the shot clock is turned off now. They're trying to put time back on the shot clock, but it should be off. And now it is.
So with 19 seconds remaining, Forster should be able just to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, and the Cougars don't look like they've been trying to go for the foul, so I think they'll be content to just cut their losses here.
Wool picking up his dribble, finding Heinen on the opposite side. 10 seconds to play.
And we'll start to get the applause here in front of the home court for the Foresters, picking up their first win over a quality opponent.
And a huge opening night win for your Huntington University Foresters. They are going to take this one 84-70, and much of it was on the heels of Daniel Wool.
Yeah, absolutely. Just did an outstanding job in all phases of the game. Improvements all around. I think that's the one word we can use to describe this game, just as a team and also with individuals that we see return. And just, again, the defeated attitude that really percolated throughout the season last year seems completely gone. This is a refreshed team. This is a revived team, and they look good. And I think as Forester fans, we can be excited about what's coming this year.
It's definitely something to be excited for Huntington. Taking down St. Xavier, who's receiving votes in some of the top 25 polls. You never know where the Foresters stand here in the Crossroads League. But we're going to take just a quick break here from inside Platter. We're going to be back with some post-game action for you. This is FDN Sports.
My name is James Plock. I'm from Port Elizabeth, South Africa. I'm majoring in exercise science under the Department of Kinesiology.
My name is Paris Williams and my major is sports and exercise studies.
Our department really comes in two different areas. The exercise science area, which is interested in the medical aspects of exercise. And the other side of the department looks at recreation and sport management, which is a little bit more in the business and the administrative side of sport.
Growing up, my mother had a lot of difficulties maintaining a healthy weight. And then when I got older, I made it my goal to try and motivate her and help her. And in about a 2-year period, she lost almost 75 pounds. I just saw how her life became better, and I wanted to be able to do that for other people. So it started at home, and hopefully I can impact a lot more households.
I was an exercise science major, but when I got a job here as an athletic trainer, that kind of changed my mind, and that's what I wanted to pursue. So I changed my major to exercise and sports studies.
The professors and faculty go and take the extra step to commit to students and to influence their lives and really set time apart for us, which is great.
My relationship with faculty and staff here in this department is really fun and easygoing.
They'll chat to you if they see you, they'll come and talk to you, and they want to know where you want to go in life and how they can help you get there, more so than just helping you get an A in the class.
I think like most professors here at Huntington University, we're here because we want to have relationships with the students. We don't want to just come to class and teach for 50 minutes and then go home. We're interested in interacting with them personally and getting to know them.
All my classes, we're all able to get direct feedback from the professors when we have questions.
You never feel like just a number in any of them. You actually get to know the professor. You never feel afraid to ask questions.
A lot of our classes are very hands-on. We put a lot of emphasis on developing those skills by actually having them do the skills and not just talking about them in the classroom.
We have the YMCA close by and Parkview Hospital that's really close by, and between the two we get a lot of internship hours and get to actually practice what we learn about in the classroom.
We do blood pressure, skin fold tests, we get to do bod pod testing.
We have the bod pod, which is something that only a handful of schools in Indiana have, and the other schools are really big schools.
The university has been very good about making sure that we can have the latest and the best stuff in our labs so that we're testing students in stuff that they're going to see in the industry.
When you compare schools of our size against us, I'd say our resources are a lot better. The equipment we have is fantastic.
Post-graduation for our students is very strong. They end up going usually one of two ways, either into graduate school or into a position that is relevant to the field. If they've done their part here, to work hard, to make sure they have good internship experiences, good recommendations, then they are very, very competitive in whatever they want to do after graduation.
I'll be graduating this May, and I'm really excited to start working as a fitness and wellness coach at a corporate wellness center in Chicago.
After I graduate from here, I'll actually be going to Manchester University, I'll be going to their athletic training program to become an athletic trainer.
Plans don't always go the way we want them to, but you're not alone in this adventure called life. Remedy Live is a non-for-profit web station that strives to produce a positive message while helping teens who need it. If we can help you, text the word REMEDY to 313131 or visit our website at remedylive.com to chat with someone there. Remedy Live. We chat, we listen, we love.
Welcome back here to Platt Arena, where the Huntington University Foresters take their first win of the season, going 1-0 so far. An 84-70 win over the St. Xavier University Cougars, and it was an exciting matchup from the very beginning, Caleb.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns coming into this game. Half of Huntington's roster is new players that we haven't seen, either transfers or freshmen, so we really didn't know what to expect, and also what to expect from the veterans, who a lot of them had kind of rough years last year. So again, just great improvement from the veterans and just outstanding performance from the new players.
Well, we have Coach Platt here live with us, ready to answer just a few of our questions. Now, Coach Platt, there was a question with how many new players we had, who was going to step up and really take charge of this team, and we feel like Daniel Wool may have answered that question, but was there anyone else that you liked seeing leadership-wise on the floor?
Well, I mean, yeah, Daniel and Derek Heinen are both going to have to really show leadership skills throughout the entire season for us to be good.
And that means more than just leading us maybe in scoring or rebounding or whatever. Obviously, we want them to do that if we can. I mean, I don't care who leads us in either of those categories as long as we end up with winning the game. But what they need to do is keep people positive and keep people in just a high enthusiasm throughout the entire game, whether it be in the highs or the lows. And we had both of those tonight. We had times where we looked really good and we were really sharp. Then we had times where we weren't. And some of that is to be expected since it's still very early in the year. This is our first game. And we still have a lot of new players that we're still trying to get accustomed to each other. It's going to take a while. I think the other thing is we're going to have to get accustomed to somehow the way these sort of officials are going to end up calling the game, because the rules have changed a little bit. They're kind of caught in a tough spot too, because they're supposed to be calling things a lot closer. I think you recognize that tonight with
Yes.
25 fouls for St. X and 22 for us, a lot of free throws. So there's a lot of adjustment that's going to happen, but that's part of the whole game and what we got to do. But really, I thought we played it well at times, and we'll certainly take the victory.
Now, you mentioned some of the officiating, how they seem to be calling things a bit closer, especially down low. The Foresters don't have too many big men, it seems like. So what's your plan in case those guys get in some foul trouble?
Well, we need Austin Carazzi to play big and strong. We need Locke to come in off the bench and play strong. Daniel, obviously, to do that as well. The game has changed a little bit in the sense that it's not all about just throwing it into your big monster inside anymore and that kind of thing. We're a little bit more up-tempo this year than we've been in the past. We try to get out and get going. We got guys that can flat shoot it, so we want to try to play to our strength on that. Defensively, then, we're just going to have to maybe get creative at times on how we do that, with trying to guard posts inside. But like I said, it's all about a feeling out process and trying to figure that whole thing out. But St. X is a good team. They've got some ability, and they've got some seniors that really go at it, and they're expected to do well in the Chicagoland Conference. So all in all, I'm pleased with the win, and we head on down the road.
Yeah, it seemed like the Forces really came out here, and the first match had a lot of intensity, seemed really upbeat. And the player that caught our eye was Kyle Hartman coming off the bench as a freshman. Didn't expect such intensity, and especially his defense.
Yeah, he is one tough cookie. He doesn't weigh a lot. He's not very tall, but he has got the heart of a warrior. He really does, and he's not afraid of anybody or anything. And our guys feed off of that. Then the harder he plays and goes at it, even like Zach Rutland. He's not a very big little guy either, but he can flat play the game, and he's tough, and he doesn't back down. And that causes everybody to match that intensity and to match that toughness. And so that's what we've got to have. But I thought Hart did a really nice job off the bench. Obviously, Zach is a special guard as well, and we're just going to be a little bit different looking team this year in a lot of ways. And hopefully it'll be a positive, and there'll be a lot of victories along the way. But we still don't have a senior on the team, and so a lot of things have just got to keep maturing.
Now, you talk about having a lot of young players, and you go right into this next game. You're going to be against Cornerstone University. Was ranked first, took a loss to Indiana Wesleyan earlier in the season, but still one of the top teams in NAI. What's the message going to be?
Well, unfortunately, the conference that we play in, we get the chance to play a lot of top teams. It's not like we just get one per year or two. High schools, you might play a number one, and you might never play another one all the rest of the year, and they're in the top 10. Well, for us, the Crossroads League's got 2 or 3 teams almost in the top 10 all the time, so we're used to that. But yeah, Cornerstone, they were national champs last year. I do the scheduling, which some people have question what I'm doing, because St. X was 25th or 26th preseason, and now Cornerstone, and then you got Olivet coming in after that, and it's kind of crazy. But this is why we do this, because we want to be tested. I think more than the winning and losing the game on Saturday is let's go see where we are. Where do we stand? Obviously, we want to win the game. I think we can, but we've got to go at it and understand that, hey, it's a formidable opponent, and let's just go to war and see what happens.
All right, well, thank you, Coach Platt, for your time, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much, guys.
That was Coach Platt breaking it down for you guys on what goes on in the mind of the head coach of the Huntington University Foresters.
Yeah, and I think what he said that really sticks with me is it's a brand new team. It's got a different feel. They have different strengths. They're going to play well, and I think as they was talking about the energy that some of the freshmen provided, and I think that always makes me think of Daniel Wool. Since the first time he stepped foot on this court, he's been an energetic player. So I think this is a team that's got some really good attitude. They play hard. They play well. They were enthusiastic about the game, and I think that makes a world of a difference on the court, especially when we compare to what happened last season.
We've seen the world of difference from the Foresters taking this one 84-70. Next game is going to be, like I mentioned, November 7th against Cornerstone University. That's going to be a neutral site at 1 o'clock. But the next home game, as Coach Platt mentioned, going to be against the 5th-ranked Olivet Nazarene. They're going to be playing November 10th at 7 p.m. right here at home. Make sure you make it out to that matchup, especially going to see an exciting game with how the Foresters, how well they played.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, some tough challenges coming up, as Coach Platt mentioned, but really going to be good. Put this team in a lot of different situations. Let them get good experience. Winning's always great, but it's not necessary that they win all these huge matchups. They just need to get some good experience, get battle hardened, as he kind of used a lot of those war metaphors there. Get battle hardened going into a very tough Crossroads League. That way they can have a good showing in conference play.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at FDN Sports. Once again, the Foresters taking this one 84-70, winning their first game of the season. I'm Logan Hunt, alongside me I have Caleb Overfelt. Good night, everyone.